Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Teach Better Team Daily Drop In with you every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Or if you choose to take advantage of our time shifting option, you can also listen to us later on the Teach Better Talk podcast. My name is Brad Hughes. I'm in for Ray Hewitt today. And with me today is an incredible guest, Jillian Dubois. Good morning, Jillian.
Good morning, Brad.
Excited to be with you. You and I are tag teaming the daily drop in this morning. Jillian, it's like when mom and dad give you the keys to a fantastic sports car for the very first time. All the bells and whistles behind the scenes here on StreamYard. And so you and I are going to keep this car on the road. We're going to head out for a smooth and enjoyable day trip today. How's that sound?
That's awesome. I'm going to put my windows down. Okay. If that's
Oh,
what,
that's
well,
perfect.
yeah.
I've got the sunroof open already. Let me
Okay.
know if the temperature is too hot or too cold for you. And we're going to be welcoming everyone in right after this commercial message. See you on the
Awesome.
flip side, Jillian. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Teach Better Team Daily Drop In with you every single day at this time, 7 a.m. Eastern, to start your day with a smile, some information, some inspiration, maybe some silly puns, courtesy of yours truly. But we have an extra special guest this morning coming to us live from a closet in Georgia. It's my good friend, Jillian Dubois. Good morning, Jillian.
Good morning. Yes. So this was the only space, everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
So this was the quiet spot and it's just kind of cozy. And I've got my coffee. Yeah, I'm happy in this little spot. Actually, I could live in a tiny home. I realize that. So if I'm in a tiny closet, I'm like, and I'm happy, I think I could live in a tiny home one day. Anyway,
That's
that's my dream.
outstanding. And
Yeah.
I do hear that Georgia closets are among the finest in North America. Would you agree?
I do. I mean, they're carpeted. The walls are a nice shade of something, and yeah, and there's a door. There's always a way out. I mean, it's great.
Everything you could ask for
Yeah,
in a closet, they're
I
they're in
know.
Georgia. What part of Georgia are you in this morning?
We are northwest of Atlanta, so
Mhm.
we are in a small town called Hiram, close to let's see, Kennesaw and National Battlefield.
Mhm.
So just around the mountains and just kind of having fun.
Now it's Thanksgiving break in your part of the world, and so you're away from home, visiting family, taking some time away.
Yes, definitely. As soon as the bell rang on Friday afternoon at 12 o'clock, we hop in the car and we drove the 8 hours it takes to get here from Florida. And we've been here ever since. So we like to take serious, advantage of every moment that we have off. So yeah, we're all here and we've been here already settled in and exhaled. Yeah.
It's just what you need to reset, recharge, and get ready for doing all of the things. And you do all of the things. We're going to dive into all of the things that you do and all the ways you contribute. Want to say good morning to Ray. Good morning to Jeff in the comments. If you're joining us live, please feel free to check in the comments. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and if you're listening later, we're glad that you joined us, and we hope to, energize and inspire you with some great conversation today. Our focus today and this week is also on team building. So we're going to be talking about what makes great teams. What do we bring? What do we take away? And how does it all work? What is the secret to great team building? So, Jillian, as we get started, let us know who you are, where you are, what you do. For those who haven't yet met or connected with you on social media, who the heck is the incredible Jillian Dubois?
Oh, you are so kind. I always feel like I have to live up to that kind of okay, they said so many nice things about me, but what am I really?
I'm just
So,
going to interject. You're a pretty remarkable person, and so I want you to just say, "Yeah, this is me," and I'm just let it all hang out. You've got so much to offer.
let it all hang out. Okay. Well, I like to say that I am an ordinary educator that gets to do amazingly extraordinary things with people and students. And let's see, I teach second grade. I love my kids, and I am a mom, a wife, a friend, a sister, a daughter, and I'm the optimistic originator of Imparted Joy LLC.
Tell me more about imparted joy. I know I've come to know you as a joy imparter. So always on the lookout for the joy in our worlds around us. How does imparting joy, what does that mean to you?
Well, imparting joy, so is spreading it, giving it, letting it go, letting it fly, no holds barred, letting it all hang out, as you would say. It started from a hashtag that I used in a Twitter when I started on Twitter a couple years ago, and I thought, hey, it's kind of a catchy little thing because it had the ed in there. So, and I was in a kind of a professional learning network of educators, so it just kind of grew from there. So, yeah. I
What
love all these comments. "Oh, everybody," like, there's
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of people here this
we've
morning.
got Joe, we've got Nikki,
Yeah.
Brienne is
Hi,
joining us,
everybody.
and people are going, "Whoa, new crew!" Yeah,
Joe.
we are behind the wheel today. Jeff, Ray, and team are doing some school and district work today. So Brad and Jillian are happy to step in, and enjoy the morning with you. So Jillian, tell me more about the LLC. What prompted you to consolidate everything that you were doing and create your own company?
Well, basically, it just came down to I had a dream to write a children's book, and I was able to publish that children's book through another publisher. And then I started writing more and illustrating more. And I thought the more I did it, I'm like, I can kind of do this myself. I think it's not that hard. So, yeah, so I just created it. And it has just kind of in the past year, I mean, it's hard to believe like Liv's Seashells was the first book that I wrote, and that book birthday is next week. Like, it's only been a year. Like, I still, like, can't wrap my head around that.
Oh, happy birthday, Live Seashells.
I
Fantastic.
know, I'm
Will there
so
be
excited.
cake and candles to celebrate the debut of your first children's book?
Of course,
Yeah.
always. There's always an excuse to have cake and candles. So, yeah, so then I started thinking, how can I do this for other people? So, really, I want to help elevate everybody else. I mean, I know I can do it, but I want to help everybody else who has a dream, who has a passion to tell a story, to get a book out there, whether it's to illustrate their story, whether it's to help them spark their story, just get them going
Mm.
and give some advice on how to get started and even help them do that themselves. They can do it. And of course, I could do it too. That's a piece of it too. But it's just, I just want to see everybody feel as happy about living out their passions and dreams as I have. So
Now, in your family team, you welcomed a new four-legged family member to your team. Can you tell us a little bit about that four-legged family member and how that translated into a new children's book for you?
yeah. Well, we had been without a pet for about a year.
Hmm.
And I kind of got to the point where I'm like, all right, Tim, I'm like, I need something to love. Like, he's like, thanks. I'm like, no, I just need a furry friend. If there's something about I don't know, the companionship of an animal that just brings joy to your home. So I said, hey, I know we don't have to go out and adopt anything right away. Let's just foster. Right. So he's like, oh, okay. Well, that's not very long, right? No, like 2 months, maybe tops. Yeah. So 3 days. It lasted for 3 days. And we just welcomed her. She was a stray in Georgia. They had sent her to a lab rescue down here in Florida, and we fostered her for a few days and we became foster fail parents. So yeah, so we adopted her very quickly and we call her a Velcro dog because she does not leave our side. So and yeah, it sparked actually look at you, Piper Lou. So just the story of, acceptance and love and inclusivity. So everybody deserves a chance. Everybody deserves, a home, someone to love them and guide them through the rest of their path. So
Couldn't agree more, Jillian. And that's your family's opportunity to impart joy to Piper Lou's life and into your life as well. I mean, a foster family welcomes an animal in for a short time, looking for its forever home, and you offered its forever home straight away.
we did. And I've never regretted it. So she's sleeping in the bed right now where I should be.
Oh. It is an early start, and we're so glad that you're here. We're glad that Adam's here. Adam's dropping in quickly. He's on his way for pancake breakfast for students. That's outstanding. Adam, you better get going and get to that breakfast in time. And Jillian, I promise to keep those puns short, sweet, and to the point all morning long. And
I
I'm
love them.
I'm so glad you're here. We absolutely have a stacked lineup today with Brad and Jillian. Adam is here, Ray, Joe, Nikki. Good morning to Facebook user. Facebook user, we're glad that you're here too. Jillian Dubois, this Facebook user wants to get in contact with you about a possible classroom visit. And before we sign off today, we'll make sure that our guests and our listeners and viewers know how to contact you just for that kind of an occasion. So, hey,
Absolutely.
Jillian, you're celebrating something new today as well. You were talking about Imparted Joy LLC, your passion for helping others to share their stories and voices. So, what's the big deal today?
Oh my goodness. So, the big deal is, I don't know, I guess it was about July. Um, Darren Peppard said, "Hey, you know what? I have this incredible story that Kim Colazzo has written, and she's a friend of Rob Breyer's, and yada, yada, yada. And she has this amazing story, but she needs an illustrator." And I'm like, I don't know if I want to illustrate for anybody else. It's one thing when you illustrate for yourself and you can tell your story and make it work for you because you've got that visualization of what it needs to be. And I'm like, yeah, well, let me read it and see what I can come up with. And I don't know, let's just try it. So, anyway, one thing led to another. I fell in love with this story. The three of us just made a great team, and it's called Emerson Blake and the Spotted Salamander. Kim Colazzo is the author, and I did all her illustrations and artwork for her. And it went live this morning on Amazon at 5 a.m. So, yes, we're so excited. It's the first time, there is something very, very special about a project for someone else. Like I thought it was like so cool to do your own project, but when you can do that and make somebody else's story come alive visually, it's like I can't even explain. Like it's just amazing. So I'm so grateful and so thankful for all these opportunities that are popping up.
For those of you that are watching live, your face explains it all, Jillian. Just the warmth, the wonder, the excitement. And I'm wondering what it is about the creative process or the creative cycle that brings you such joy, both bringing your own stories and other people's stories to life. What's in it for you?
Part of it is the whole art for anybody that's an artist. I think whether it's music or art or, there is whatever medium it is, there's something very therapeutic about it. So it's something that you have inside of you that you just kind of like, it has to be built, it has to be cultivated. And when it does, and when it comes out and grows and blooms, it's, it, not only is it freeing, it's just, I don't know, it just gives you that sense of, hey, I accomplished something. But more than that, there's something that happens in your brain and in your heart that just kind of clicks. And it just, I don't know, it's so hard to explain, but it just, to make sure this comes across like it's not nerdy and weird. But it's just lovely. It's a lovely thing to be able to cultivate something that's in your heart that is an outward expression of those inward things.
Is there a part of it, Jillian, that you still can't believe it's happening? There's still that element of surprise and wonder whenever you see, your name in print or you contributing to someone else's project?
Yeah, yeah, it is. And it's even, I've, reached out. I've got another project. I got a couple of projects already in the works with some
Mhm.
other people. And all it took was me reaching out, or, it's a simple blog post that somebody read and they said, "Hey, I've got an idea here. What do you think?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I love that idea. Let's work together."
Mhm.
That happens so organically. I'm not out there like pushing anything or promoting anything. It's just, I think that's what feels so good about it is and it's not going to be, I don't really want to be, famous or anything like that. I just want to be known as somebody who cares and helps other people and, I don't know, can inspire others.
That reminds me of our good friend Livia Chan, who strongly believes in models that lifting ourselves is an opportunity to lift others. You're always looking for that uplift. And it sounds like you found a number of channels to uplift others while you uplift yourself too, Jillian Du Bois.
I try. I try. Yep. Uplifting. That's a great word. I like that word.
Well, speaking of uplifting, Jillian, after our break, we're going to shift to celebrating some very special holidays today. We're also going to celebrate a good news story. And I'm going to swing back to your special good news, the debut of the book that you've illustrated. So we'll be right back after this commercial message, if I can find it. Here it is. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the Daily Drop In, here with you every single morning at 7 a.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And later on, if you're time shifting, you can listen to this broadcast on the Teach Better Talk podcast, whether you're joining us live or later. Whatever works for you, that works for us. We're so glad you're here. I'm here with Jillian Dubois, coming to us from a closet in Georgia, among the nicest closet I've ever seen. Especially, Georgia closets are known to be, the fabulous closet. And Jillian, you are an author, you're an illustrator, you're the owner and operator of Imparted Joy LLC. Talk with us about the Imparted Joy podcast. I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about these little broadcast nuggets of wisdom. Tell us about that.
Oh, moments of imparted joy. Most of the time they are recorded in my car before I head into school on a Monday, Tuesday morning, depending on what day it is and how much time I have given myself. But just honestly, they're just little things that just have popped in my head, little lessons that not only do I want to share with others, but they're lessons for myself too, whether it's a lesson about gratitude or joy or just acceptance or looking around you and taking in all of those small moments that we miss. I think that's why I call it just moments of joy, because there are so many things that if we just sit for a moment, and I think that's when I find the inspiration is just sitting in my car before I walk into school. It's like, what can I expect from today? What can I look for in today to make things brighter and happier for everyone around me?
It really is a wholesome and uplifting listen. And as you said, Jillian, it's only a few moments, and your podcast really speaks directly to the heart. It's something that anyone can take a few moments for, whether it's on the way to or from work or during a break from work. And again, it's just another way that you're imparting joy out there. Is there anything that you've learned as a podcaster that was new or surprising, I guess, in comparison to your other creative channels?
Yes, that it is difficult just to do it on the fly. Like I thought, oh, I'm just going to speak into this microphone for 3 minutes and just see what happens. Well, those 3 minutes in my car usually end up being about 25 minutes because I think I do it like 5 or 6, 7 times before I kind of get it right without saying too many ums.
Jillian, I just want to point out that if you're in your car, hopefully you have a passenger seat. Maybe you could bring on a production assistant to provide you with the cues or the transitions. What would you think? What would it take to be a fantastic production assistant for Jillian Dubois? Who's your ideal PA sitting in that passenger seat with you?
Oh, are you kidding? It would be you.
Oh
For
my word!
sure. Are you kidding me? For sure. Yes, no, absolutely. Beyond like, yeah. So that's my aspiration is never to be like a podcast host, but to do
Mhm.
just a few minutes. But Brad, I mean, you've kind of set the bar very high in your podcast. So
I appreciate that. And Jillian, it reminds me, you were, and I'm very honored to say, my very first guest on the Good News, Brad News podcast. And it was almost a year ago, January of 2021, that the podcast debuted. And our friendship and our professional relationship continues to strengthen. And here we are a year later. How about that, friend?
yeah, I can't believe that's been almost a year.
Mhm.
Wow. Well, congratulations. You're
Well,
coming
I
up on an
appreciate that you
anniversary.
joined me
Yeah.
for that debut, and it continues to be a wonderful project for me to continue to blog and provide a podcast for our Teach Better family and Teach Better network. And Imparted Joy is where you want to find it on any of the podcast providers, Jillian.
I believe so. I believe it's like Anchor and Spotify are the 2 big ones.
Yeah,
Like I said, I don't really know. I just kind of do it. Just
it's
put it out there.
it's out there, kind of like the two of us. They're just out there. Jillian, we're going to shift to some celebrations today, and before I move on to some celebrations for today, can we just circle back again and can we get the title and the author of the book that you illustrated and that's debuting today? Can we get that once again?
Yes. So it's through Road to Awesome, and it's Darren Peppard is the publisher, and Kim Colazzo, and Collazo. And the title is Emerson Blake and the Spotted Salamander. And it is the sweetest story about a little girl named Emerson who basically is Kim is a STEM instructor, and so it is all about science and the ecosystem, and it's fabulous. So
So, Jillian, with the power vested in me as daily drop-in host for Monday, November the 22nd, I'd like to declare today uh, Spotted Salamander Day all over our network. And at some point, I'll make sure that a special certificate goes to you and to the author. But let's just declare it Spotted Salamander Debut Day. How's that
I
sound?
love that. That was I will say that illustrating and somebody else's ideas, right? I had never illustrated a salamander before. So salamanders are not easy creatures to capture uh, on paper.
In my part of the world, salamanders are uh, a notorious species. They are known in the Niagara Escarpment region of Ontario to be endangered, and protection of these salamanders has resulted in a lot of infrastructure changes, a lot of freeway and green space protection that wasn't anticipated, but all due to these little amphibians, little lizards in our ecosystem, Jillian.
Oh, that is amazing. I had no idea.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, remarkable creatures. So
Wow. Well, yeah, those are the things we talk about in the book. So
right on.
perfect.
So Jillian, what if I told you that today was no Go for a Ride Day, November 22nd? We're celebrating Go for a Ride Day. I'm not sure. Do you have any rides in your future today to set your spirit free and enjoy your Wanderlust, whatever mode of transportation suits you best?
Yeah, I was going to say, are we riding on a bike? Are we
Mhm.
on a motorcycle? Are we in a car, convertible? Does it matter? Are we going together? Are we just kind of like deciding where to go and go?
Yeah, I mean, you
Okay.
invited me to buckle up and be your
Yeah.
PA in the passenger seat, so I
Okay.
think a road trip is absolutely in order for us. I just have to check the flights so I can get down to Georgia as quickly as possible and make some arrangements back here in Ontario. So it is Go for a Ride Day, I guess, whether you're traveling by bike, car, train, airplane, and you said earlier you've got the windows down.
Yep.
Is it still windows down weather in Georgia?
It is. Well,
Yeah.
this morning it's a little chilly, but it's going to be like 60 degrees, sunny. It rained last night, but it's gorgeous. So we're actually heading out today to find some place to hike and explore because that's what we do when we have vacation. So,
Now, Jillian, do you or anyone in your life have freckles?
no, none.
Today is Love Your Freckles Day. So, Jillian, for you
Oh.
and your loved ones, I'd encourage you to find other things that you love about yourself. But it is Love Your Freckles Day today, November 22nd. Uh, freckled faces will abound today. We'll celebrate those freckles.
That's awesome. Well, I have several students that have tons of freckles, so they will be very excited. I'm gonna may just text them that and tell them that this morning.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And educators that are listening or watching today, make sure you let your freckled students know it's Love Your Freckles Day. So, and finally, it's National Cranberry Relish Day today, which I think is a very good idea to celebrate. And Jillian, where would you normally celebrate and enjoy some cranberry relish in and around your parts?
So, cranberry relish is not something that we eat a lot of, but I do love a good cranberry relish, and I would put cranberry on everything. I don't care what time of year it is. But the relish has to have a little bit of orange in it.
Mm.
And just maybe even, I don't know, over some turkey and cheese, like make a sandwich. I love to make sandwiches with cranberry relish. So,
I think if anyone is celebrating Thanksgiving and has some leftover turkey, an ideal sandwich would be some thick sliced bread with some turkey leftovers, maybe some stuffing, some cranberry relish, a little bit of salt and pepper, maybe some mayo, but make sure you've got that orange rind in that cranberry relish. You heard it here from Jillian Dubois, right?
yeah, that sounds like the perfect sandwich. Wow. What could we call that sandwich? I don't even know
We'll
if it
call it
has a name.
The Jillian Dubois.
Okay. All right. There you go.
That'll be coming to diner menus near you anytime soon. Yeah, well, I've really relished this opportunity to review these daily celebrations today. And we also have a good news story to share. And this good news story I selected because it's all about imparting joy in honor of my guest, Jillian Dubois. And this comes from today.com. And the headline is Meet the 2 year old going viral for her positive affirmations on social media. A 2 year old toddler in Australia named Alexandra is bringing smiles to people all over the world with TikTok videos and daily affirmations from this incredible 2 year old Alexandra. Hey, the little girl starts each video and then she follows up with an uplifting mantra. And Jillian, the video that I will post and share has the message You are bold. You are brilliant. You are beautiful. That's what she shared in a recent video. And she went on to say, today, you will not let other people's words affect you. You are worthy of greatness. How about that? 2-year-old Alexander from Australia sharing these positive affirmations, Jillian. You are a joy aficionado. What do you think about that?
I'm speechless that that came from a 2-year-old. I mean, 2-year-olds don't put more than 3 words together at a time. Like, that's crazy. Somebody wow. Wow, I mean, that's, like, more than I could even think of. That's amazing. And
So
what
Alexander's parents, Nick and Sophia, run the account. It also features their family adventures and their older daughter, Mila, who's 4. And Sophia says, we started posting Alexandra's affirmation videos on TikTok, and the response was overwhelming. So many comments on how happy our videos made people, how it calmed their anxiety, and even saved their life. What a remarkable contribution this family from Australia is making. And what a dear, sweetheart young Alexandra is. I'll make sure to post a comment, or
yeah.
sorry, post the link to this video, and you can see it at today.com/parents. Jillian, these moments, it sounds like a moment of imparted joy brought to you by Alexander in Australia. It sounds like these moments make all the difference. What do you think?
Well, it does, and it doesn't take much. I mean, and especially from a child. I mean, you
Mhm.
think about an innocent heart at that age that is saying something. Yes, I mean, she may not have come up with all of those words. Maybe she was, fed those words, but still, it doesn't matter. It came from her and it came from her heart. And it doesn't take much. I mean, it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't, there is always something to find joy, always something to find joy in every single day.
Jillian, do you think it's challenging for people in general to be able to stop and find the joy? And if so, what might make it difficult for us to recognize the joy in the world around us?
Busyness. We're so busy. And it's funny because my turn for blogging is up next. And I just finished a blog yesterday for Teach Better on this too, that we just have to hit that pause button. We have to, just like the old boom boxes that we used to have when we were growing up, right? You couldn't make a mixtape without hitting that pause button at just the right moment. And sometimes it just seems you just have to hit that pause button at just the right moment to express just something good, something, or just sit back. It'll come to you. But we just have to still our hearts and still ourselves in the middle of the busyness and the chaos and the havoc and everything that's going on around us because we're all feeling it, right? But if we just take that one little moment just to slow down, I think, we all have it.
Jillian, you've just started off with some incredible and practical advice to, stop and find the joy in the world around us and among our busy lives. We're going to transition now to our brainstorm bank, where we take an intentional opportunity to answer things that might be on people's minds, and we can continue the conversation about finding the joy around us right after this. See you on the flip side. Good morning. Good morning. You're with the Daily Drop In with Brad Hughes and Jillian DuBois, sitting in for Ray Hewart this morning. Ray and the Teach Better team are, well, they're imparting joy in a school district today. And so Brad and Jillian have the reins, and we're celebrating Take a Drive Day today, Take a Trip Day. And we're driving with the windows down, the sunroof is open. We've got some incredible tunes playing. Jillian, what's on your soundtrack? What kind of soundtrack brings you joy when you're taking a road trip?
Oh, that is a great question. Usually it's something like old school 80s for me. So, and Brad, you and I were talking like before we got on live, and one of my favorite bands, like seriously, just to listen to, just to cruise, is the Outfield. And maybe maybe you don't even nobody's heard of them, but something that is just catchy and just has that electronic, I don't know, vibe to it that just gets you cruising.
Ray Hewart and I love the vibe of our Friday wrap up music. So it doesn't have to be anything special. It's just something that hits right. It just
Yeah.
hits. And I'm wondering if any of our live viewers can just pop in the chat. What's on your soundtrack? What's first on your mixtape if we're celebrating Go for a Ride Day? And Jillian, this is our brainstorm bank, and so we're brainstorming some different audio opportunities. We're also taking an intentional moment on November 22nd this morning to dig into some problems of practice. This is our opportunity to share out to our viewers and listeners that we are here for you. What do you need, and how can we help? So, Jillian, talking about problems of practice, I mean, we're all incredibly busy. There's tremendous community stress continuing as we survive a pandemic, and we were talking before the break about stopping and finding the joy around us. Why might that be so important, especially right now?
I think that, we all need to be uplifted. We all need just a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of support. Every time I know I walk into the teacher break room or the workroom, there's always somebody in there going, I just can't do it anymore. I can't do this today. My kids are driving me crazy. It's like there's too much. Oh my gosh, the copier's not working. There's no coffee left. There's always a problem. And it's like there just has to be, it's just we've got to be there for each other. And it's just, I think we teach kids inclusivity, right? We teach them to be empathetic and compassionate to one another. But do we do that with our own team members? Do we do that with our own faculty and staff? We're so busy in our own little silos that really we are one. I mean, we work in the same building, we're on the same team, but we often don't act like it, or we don't make an effort to really include each other in our thoughts, in our processes, and even just a smile could change somebody's day.
So important to building and maintaining strong teams is just that empathy and awareness. Nikki tells us that her soundtrack is '80s music and Broadway show tunes. And Jillian, in your school team, do you guys come together around music or around special events, or do you have any special routines or traditions that allows you and your school teams to come together and really look out for each other?
I think occasionally our faculty, our administration really take care of us. So we have a pretty big conference room, and I would say at least once a week we've got either donuts or cookies or some fresh fruit or something laid out on the conference table,
Mm.
and we have a big refrigerator. There's always stocked full of um, beverages, whether it's, Gatorade or water or sodas or whatever. But it's just nice because a lot of times we congregate in that room sometimes just to kind of grab a quick drink or to grab a snack. And it's like, hey, how's your day going? So that almost has become, and this just started this year. And I have noticed that more people are kind of hanging out during their planning periods or during their lunch periods. And it's not so much a little gossip center. It's more of a, hey, this is a really nice little treat. Well, so those little things that just kind of even, I mean, it may not seem like very much, but it really does kind of like help build that community. So,
What advice would you give to a viewer or listener who senses an opportunity or a need to build a strong to strengthen team or to build community? What advice could you give them that they might something small but impactful they might try today in their workplace?
you know, um, read the room. When you walk into that workroom and it looks like it is like a chaos and busyness and um, there's some negativity in there, all it takes, just touch someone on the shoulder, say, hey, is there anything, I can do for you? Or, hey, I hope you have a great day. Or, I mean, it seems so, I mean, it has to be genuine, of course, but I think it always does, knowing who it comes from. We trust each other, we care about one another. So, but read the room. If somebody's having a bad day or if somebody has that look on their face like, good Lord, what am I going to do? It's like just smile or just put a little post it note in their mailbox
Mm.
or, something. It doesn't take, it's free. It doesn't take long. And I think that really, really makes it just a little bit goes a long way.
When you return to your school after your holiday, what would just totally lift your heart to see or to find or to hear when you return to school in a week's time?
Ooh, like from staff or faculty or kids?
Yeah, from anyone. So we talk about our school communities and our school teams. So what could a team member do, say, or provide that would give you an uplift as you return to school after the holiday?
A team member, I think it would just be I think we're all gonna come back. I know we're all gonna come back with big smiles on our face. So, I just think, just, "Hey, how was your week? Hey, did you do anything fun? Did you get a lot of sleep? Did you eat a lot of good food?" Just having conversation. I think anybody that just, we walk by each other, nothing makes me sadder than walking by a staff member and we don't acknowledge each other. I think we are in our own heads. We don't see everything around us, but when we pass each other and we don't say anything or acknowledge one another, it's just, that's when it's like, whew, wait a second, we can't do that. So I think, just acknowledge, if it would make my heart so happy if we just kind of all walked in Monday morning and just, hey, let's just acknowledge each other. Let's say, hey, glad you're here. Glad you came back.
That could be one challenge we can put out to all of our listeners and viewers, is to be intentional about making connections. And it can just be an eye contact or a wave or a smile. It could be, as you said, Jillian, popping your head into a staff workroom or a staff common area, spending time that you can connecting, and just making sure people know that you're excited to be around them. And just, I wonder about too, about just waiting to see not only how it makes, those around you feel, but paying attention to how it makes you feel too. And we talked about lifting others, uplifts us as well. So how do you find that process for you? How do you find yourself? How does you find joy being imparted back to you in those interactions that you have with your team members?
Hmm. Well, I think it fuels the fire. I think, when you get even a little response, or you get a little smile, or, a wink back from somebody that's like, hey, I think I'm okay. I think we're all going to be okay. It just kind of fuels us to kind of keep on going. And I know last week I took my kids and we made a poster, and it just said, Happy Friday. Take a post it note, take whatever you need. And on that poster were just little post it notes that my kids had written that were like, be the joy, be kind. One little girl wrote, You go, girl, or You go, guy. And it's like, or You're so rare. And I mean, little things that kids came up with. All right. We brainstormed together, but stuck those post it notes. And teachers took those notes and they went, gosh, that's what we need more of. Just to even hear from a student, that kids care. Kids want to see teachers happy. Kids want to see, they're in our environment, they're in our world, and we encourage them, but they encourage us too. So even just little things like that, just, I don't know, warm my heart.
I wonder about the power of encouragement that we as adults have in all of our school buildings as educators, to not only impart joy to others, but to model how that happens for kids in all of our spaces, whether we're in the hallway or in the library. Just taking an intentional moment to recognize a kid, even if he or she isn't in your class, I mean, really speaks to the fact that the whole school community belongs to each and every educator, each and every person that comes in. And there's a little one in my school life who I think is 6 years old, and every day I look forward to an opportunity to have a conversation with her. She's an amazing conversationalist. I mean, typically the adult would take the lead in the conversation, right? But she's, oh, good morning. How are you? You're looking great today. Wow. She says, I like your suit, or I like your outfit. And we always leave and she says, have a good time. Or have a great time, she says every time. Have a great time. I said, you have a great time too. And it's just such an
Yeah.
incredible lift from such a dear little heart. And these opportunities to uplift are all around us, aren't they, Jillian?
Yeah. They definitely are, especially when you have even former students that come by. I know we're in a K through 8 school, so I have a let's see, seventh grader that comes back that I had in second grade, and she comes back, like, I see her in the hallway almost every day going to her different classes, and she'll stop and she'll say, "Hi, how's your day going?" I'm like, "My day is going great, Brooke. Thanks so much for asking." She goes, "Well, have a good rest of your day." I
Yeah.
said, "Okay, thanks." And you can't help but smile. And I mean, yeah, she says that every single day, but it still makes me smile every single day because I know where it's coming from. It's coming from her heart. So yeah, even just, kids.
Jillian, you're involved in so many teams, both inside and outside the school building. And I think of your team with the Imparted Joy LLC and all of the folks that go into, writing, illustrating, and publishing a book. When you reflect on your teams, what would you say makes them unique or strong? Both, a part of the individuals in the team, but also collectively. What makes a strong team for you in your life?
I think it's the flexibility. I think it's understanding um, that we all can bend just a little bit one way or the other, and we all can accept each other for what we are and who we are. No, we don't look the same. No, we don't act the same. We don't have the same personalities, but we can not be so rigid and not be so, unwilling to shift to one way or the other. It's all in, I think the flexibility and grace are those two keywords for me.
What do you think, Jillian, is the connection between leadership and strong teams? Are we looking for someone to lead the way, to carry the flag, to kind of be the standard bearer? Or are we inviting people from within the team to step up to leadership roles, or is it a combination of both?
I think for me, it's always been casting vision. When you have a leader that can cast a strong vision for a team and not lead the way, right, with the flag and make all the decisions, but to kind of equip their own leaders, equip each other to take the path. And it may not be even the same path to get to that end goal or that end vision. But as long as we know what that vision is and there is like something attainable that we can try and reach together, I think we may come at it from different ways, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Imparting joy, imparting wisdom, imparting vision. You heard it here from Jillian Du Bois. Jillian, as we transition out of Brainstorm Bank, is there anything that you're looking forward to doing today that strengthens your connection or affinity with your family teams?
Ooh, we are going hiking today. Yes. And it's there's not very often that the three of us, we're a very small unit. It's my husband and my son and myself, but we don't often get to spend a lot of time together. So my son is 24, he does his own thing but he's here with us this week and he has nothing to do. We're all unplugged. And we are, yeah, just taking off and going hiking and just seeking some nature today just to breathe and to exhale and to just kind of reset and refocus on what really our family is all about, our family and our foundation. So,
I want to hang on to this idea just for a second about communing with nature, just about fresh air, sunshine, trees, surroundings. And I wonder if that's something that we can impart to our listeners and viewers today is a challenge to take up an opportunity to be in the outdoors, whether it's on your own or with family. Do you enjoy being outdoors on your own, Jillian, for some solitude and reflection?
that's my favorite place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I try and get out of the house whenever I can. So whether it's sitting on the back porch or it's taking a walk or just, I mean, I found being outside is where I regenerate and where I refresh just my soul, even if it's, 95 degrees outside, which it is most of the time in Florida.
Yeah.
But, you get used to it. So, yeah, no, I love being outside.
Is Piper Lou joining you on the hike today?
She might be. Okay, so she's a city dog.
Mhm.
So we're here in the country and the past couple of days she has run like there is no tomorrow. I've never even seen a dog run that fast and she's kind of pulled a little muscle, I think. So we might let her recuperate. I think she overextended herself.
Oh.
So we might have to go without her today, but yeah, she's loving the weather though.
I think overextending oneself just kind of runs in the family with the profession, and so it's educators are frequently doing more and more with less and less energy, and so those opportunities, just like for you and your family, Jillian, to rest, restore, recover some of that lost energy is absolutely crucial, especially at times like this.
Yeah, it comes at just the right time, doesn't it? It seems like I don't know, and maybe it's the anticipation of knowing that there's a break coming that you try and do as much as you can before that break. Um, but then you have the break and it's like, and then you come back and you've got just a few weeks and then you've got holiday break and it's like, and then a new year. I mean, Brad, where did this year go?
Hmm.
I don't know. It just disappeared.
It really has, and in our busy lives, it's hard to take the blinders off because our headspace is filled with, well, I've got to do this first, and then next, and then I've got to do that, and we're choosing with our feet where to go rather than our minds and hearts. And if we have an opportunity to kind of look up and look around and really stay in tune with those folks around us that we have an opportunity to uplift, I found that to be tremendously energizing.
Yeah, me too. Especially this time of year when we're all sharing gratitude. I kind of wish we did it all year long, but it is a good time to stop and reflect on what you're grateful for, what you're thankful for. And gosh, I mean, there's just so much. Like, we are so incredibly thankful because we have so much. I mean, even just right here, right now, we've got a PLN and we've got Teams and we've got, I mean, our lives are different. My life is different because of those people that have surrounded me and encouraged and supported. I never would have taken some of these journeys and adventures had it not been for, people like you, Brad, or, just the Teach Better team as well. Just so much support and so much love. And it's just, so appreciated.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because up to this point, we've been focusing on sort of in person in your neighborhood or in your community teams. And then I was remiss in remembering that we have such an extended and incredible network, an incredible team that exists online through media and through our Teach Better Facebook group and all of our Teach Better activities and the additional networks that you might benefit from. Is there a particular network that really imparts joy to you, or that you really enjoy imparting joy back to, Jillian?
Well, of course, it has to be Teach Better. I'm not kidding. Like, there are so many facets to it that, there's something for everybody. And I think that's what I enjoy about it the most is, you can be in the mastermind program, or you can be an ambassador, or you can participate in things like this, the daily drop-ins. But there is something about being surrounded with people who are like-minded and who have that same passion that you do. So like, it's so hard to even like wrap my head around the joy that I have just in finding that. It's you jump on social media and it's a whole universe of who knows what you're going to find. You don't know what to expect. But when you plug in and you seek to find those people and those connections that you resonate with, I mean, they're lifelong friendships, Brad, and it's going to continue. It's not something that's here today, gone tomorrow. We're all going to be here for each other. And that's something that's pretty incredible.
And that knowledge is something that'll sustain us in challenging and frustrating times. And that's the kind of reflection that I have too, Jillian, about coming in contact with you through Teach Better Team and our continued work in all of our networks is just making sure that we know that we're here for each other through thick and thin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jillian, we're going to take a quick pause. We're going to look ahead to a short but very sweet week ahead on Daily Drop In right after this. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. You're with the Daily Drop In. We're here Monday to Friday at 7 Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And of course, we're also available later on the Teach Better Talk podcast. So you can join us live. You can join us later. Just join us. Just join us and dig into some great conversation and some great people like Jillian Dubois, illustrator, author, owner of Imparted Joy LLC, dog mom, educator, family member. Wow, it just goes on and on. Jillian, you're adding value in all of your interactions, and you've certainly added tremendous value to our conversation this morning.
Well, thank you, Brad. I appreciate your friendship, and you're just a great teammate. So I think they may have a run for their money here with the two of us here. I'm just saying.
I think the two of us have kept the daily drop-in machine running smoothly, and I think that I'm hoping that we're leaving our viewers and listeners with some value added, and certainly looking ahead to a short week this week on the daily drop-in. Our daily drop-in family is taking some much-needed time away Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so we have a short week on daily drop-in. Of course, kicking off today with Jillian Dubois, and tomorrow our guest is Jamie Fowler White, an incredible educator, someone that both Jillian and I have gotten to know through Admin Mastermind, through our Teach Better Network. Jillian, I'm looking forward to hearing what Jamie has to say about life, leadership, education, and family.
Yeah, me too. And she's always asking questions, on Twitter or wherever, but it's just, she always is getting us thinking about how we are just really making our practices the best that they can be. So, and I think she just asks those questions. I mean, I know she throws them out there for us to answer, but I think she really kind of like takes all of those answers and thoughtfully kind of processes them for her own practice as well.
That's been my experience with Jamie as well. She's incredibly thoughtful, incredibly reflective, always looking to improve her practice for the benefit of her community. And I just love Jamie's voice. I could just have Jamie read a menu or a phone book to me, and I'd be soothed and uplifted. So whether you're viewing or listening tomorrow, Jamie Fowler White is a guest you won't want to miss. She'll be with us on the Daily Drop In tomorrow at 7 Eastern, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Uh, Pardon me, the Daily Drop In team is taking some time away. American Thanksgiving is this Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving to those that are celebrating in the US. And Jillian, will you be continuing your time in Georgia throughout the whole Thanksgiving week?
Yes, yes, we're here through Saturday. So we'll be, doing the Thanksgiving Day thing and watching football, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, and hanging out with family and eating way too much.
So many traditions, and Thanksgiving week, especially for our American and North American friends, is an important milestone in the school year, isn't it? It's an opportunity to reflect and then to look ahead. What kind of things are you looking ahead to as an individual or as a team educator, Jillian, as we approach the holidays in December and the new year?
The holidays are fun. They're fun for kids and they're fun for educators. It's kind of like we've made it this far and now we can kind of have fun. So for the next couple of weeks before we actually get into the holiday break season, we've got concerts and we've got, fun activities and we've got parties and we've got but all while keeping the academics up as well. But there's something about the air of just being excited about holidays and the excitement of being together and just really focusing on that fellowship and community that we have with our students.
As we approach the holidays, Jillian, if we're finding as individuals or teams that we're feeling stressed, dejected, down, out of energy, is there a way that imparted joy can maybe spark a small change that might make a big difference?
And that's one thing too, is not to sugarcoat everything, right? It's not going to be a happy time for everyone. It's not going to be the best time, especially for some of our kids. They may not enjoy Thanksgiving, they may not enjoy Christmas time or holiday season. So, yeah, so I think being aware that it's not all, sunshine and roses, but just kind of being there and kind of, like I said, reading the room, whether it's with students or with family or friends, just kind of being that supportive person who kind of can, either kind of like give a word of kindness or encouragement. But I think just, um, yeah, just to be empathetic and kind.
That really is the spirit of the season, is that connection with others and communities and families, and helping each other through what can be both an uplifting and a very challenging time too. So you've been an incredible guest. I've been so fortunate to co-pilot the Daily Drop-In flight with you this morning. And Jillian, as we wrap up, I would love you to share out how our viewers and listeners can stay in touch with you. Elijah Carbajal, who was uh, our our commenter earlier, said he'd love to connect with you for a book visit. How can our viewers and listeners get in touch with you and stay connected?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I am here on Twitter. There's my Twitter handle right there, but impartedjoy.com is where you can find me. So, and there are many things to take a look at on that website, but there's also a very specific place where we can connect and I can get back with you on anything like that. I love to do read alouds, virtual read alouds to schools. I love school visits, so much fun. So, yeah, Elijah, I'd love to do that for anyone too. And that's one of the things we do at Imparted Joy. So,
Jillian, as we leave our broadcast today, based on our discussion about looking around, reading the room, checking our surroundings, and looking for opportunities to impart joy and uplift others and therefore uplift ourselves, can you think of a challenge for our viewers and listeners that they can take forward as they face this Monday, November 22nd?
ooh, I like that. Okay, so I would take one thing. Okay. What's like I'm gonna call it the 1, 2, 3 challenge.
Hmm.
Take one thing that threatens to steal your joy. Take one thing, write it down. And two, take 2 minutes to think about ways that you could overcome that. And Three, think of three things that you are going to do that would promote joy. So you've got the one thing that's threatening your joy. Take 2 minutes to think about it and come up with three things that are going to overcome that and bring lots of joy. I think there's more joy than we know, but we do have to cultivate it. We do have to live it out loud and be bold and be brave.
Cultivate joy, live it out loud. These are incredible words to end our daily drop in with. We want to wish everyone a fantastic day. Before you head off to work or to family, make sure you take time to refill your coffee or your beverage of choice. Daily drop in will be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 Eastern. Make sure you connect with Jillian Dubois for all of the goodness that she offers. And gosh, what a wonderful guest and wonderful opportunity to co-pilot the daily drop-in with you today, Jillian. I wish you and family a wonderful day ahead and a wonderful Thanksgiving break.
Thanks, Brad. It was great to be here. I'm going to roll the windows up, park the car, get out,
Oh,
make
that's
it a great day.
fantastic. Make sure you get out and enjoy the day. This will be the best Monday, November 22nd ever. We're here for you. We're here with you. And we're glad you joined us today on Daily Drop In. We'll catch you tomorrow morning at 7 Eastern. Bye,
All right.
Jillian.
Bye.